Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at, well, we're trying to find out if one single piece of hardware can finally solve that universal problem every systems integrator knows, that basket of wall warts and random power supplies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The absolute chaos of all those small, externally powered devices that they wreck an otherwise clean rack installation.
You really do.
So we're diving into the tvONE Universal Mounting and Power Integration System. We're looking at the 1RK-6RU-KIT specifically. It's a very specialized solution, designed to bring some order to that mess.
And it's not a small investment. We're talking $1,250 right out of the gate.
Right. But the whole idea, the core of it, is to take all those randomly sized devices from any manufacturer.
Any manufacturer.
And turn them into these clean, standardized, slide-in modules. It's actually a patent-pending design because it's such a universal fix for a historically vendor-locked problem.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the architecture.
Yeah, and the analogy our sources use is, it's just perfect.
Big shelf one, right?
That's the one. Think of it as this standardized, rigid bookshelf.
And every little device that has its own weird shape and power plug gets put into a, what do they call it, a uniform protective sleeve.
Exactly. And once it's in that sleeve, it just slides perfectly into the chassis. It creates this incredible density.
You can't even fit in there.
The full 6RU chassis, it can handle up to 16 modules.
16? Wow.
Yeah. And that number adjusts just slightly down to 14 if you use the big internal 250-watt power supply unit, which is really the brains of the whole system.
But you're not locked into that big setup.
No, not at all. If you don't need that full scale, it's also available in smaller 4RU and R5UU setups. Or, if you already have your power managed, you can get a basic kit without the PSU entirely.
Okay, I have to stop you there. This all sounds brilliant. It solves a huge logistical headache, but $1,250.
Yeah.
Before you've even added a single module.
I know.
For an integrator on a tight budget, how do you justify that upfront cost over just, buying a bunch of power strips?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. The justification, the ROI, it's all packed into the versatility of that 250-watt power supply.
Okay.
Each and every slot has 7 selectable DC voltage settings. We're talking 5V, 7.5V, 9V, 12V, all the way up to 24V.
So wait, you're telling me an integrator doesn't need to order 7 different power bricks from 7 different companies for one job anymore?
That's it. You just radically simplify your bill of materials. And what's more, each slot can provide 2 different voltages at the same time.
No way.
Yeah, the flexibility is just immense. With a max power draw of 70 watts per slot, you're paying for that centralized, predictable DC power.
Right. And with that kind of density, jamming 14 devices in one box.
Yeah.
You have to be thinking about heat.
Of course. It has an active fan cooling system. And that 225 CFM of airflow, that's not just a number on a spec sheet. That's your assurance against thermal failure. Plus, the fan cover is reversible, which is a nice touch for different rack setups.
And what about certifications for the bigger jobs?
It checks all the boxes. The chassis itself is TAA compliant, and you get the full suite RoHS, CE, UL, and FCC Class A.
And speaking of TAA compliant, that points directly to the target market, doesn't it? Our sources mention specialized discounts through HDTV supply for government, military, and educational institutions.
Yep, for anyone with a .gov, .mil.edu, or .org email address.
So with that kind of specialized hardware, you have to ask, what about support?
It's lifetime support. You can reach them by phone, chat, text, email, the works.
That's huge. But there is one very, very important catch you need to know about before ordering. A crucial caveat.
A very crucial one. This is highly specialized, often built-to-order hardware, so it is non-cancelable, non-returnable, and non-refundable.
Meaning you better have your engineering locked down before you click buy.
Absolutely. The purchase order has to be the final step, because once it's in, the sale is final. It forces a higher level of planning, but that's really the point, moving toward more controlled, reliable infrastructure.
So, to sum it all up, the value proposition here is taking all this disparate hardware from literally any manufacturer and solving the 2 biggest pains: vendor-locked voltage and weird physical sizes, all in one certified, cooled, controlled unit. It's about predictability.
Exactly. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture for just a second, consider this system lets you power and standardize units from any manufacturer. What are the broader implications for the whole industry when that DC power nightmare is just universally managed.
I see what you're saying.
It really pushes us toward a much more open, interoperable future, a future where the focus is on the technology inside the box, not the power brick it happens to come with.